Billionaire refuses to let black kids sit in his car, then hits him hard. Welcome to No Justice Nation for more amazing stories. In a world where wealth means power and skin color still means judgment, one boy's innocent dream turned into a nightmare, all because he sat in the wrong seat. This is the story of Malik, a 10-year-old black kid who just wanted to feel the leather of a luxury car, and a billionaire who couldn't see past his own hate. It was a bright, sunny Saturday afternoon in Atlanta, Georgia. The streets were busy with the usual weekend buzz. Families out shopping, couples laughing over brunch. And in a high-end part town, exotic cars lined the streets like trophies on display. Malik was with his mother, Tasha, a hard-working single mom who had promised her son a treat after his good grades. They just finished getting ice cream, and Malik was smiling wide, his little hand sticky from the chocolate drizzle he loved so much. They passed a luxury dealership hosting some kind of showcase. A sleek, black Lamborghini was parked right in front of a velvet rope, bold, shiny, magnetic. Malik's eyes lit up. Malik, Mom, look, that car looks like Batman's. Tasha chuckled, wiping the corner of his mouth. Tasha, sure does, baby. You know I used to dream about cars like that when I was your age, too. Malik's curiosity got the better of him. Without crossing the rope, he tiptoed up to the car. A valet was nearby, distracted on his phone. The door was left cracked open slightly, as if someone had just stepped out. Malik looked back at his mom. She was smiling, watching from a distance. He reached for the door and slowly opened it. Gently, respectfully, not want to damage anything. The buttery leather seats were a deep tan. The dashboard lit up with futuristic lights. Malik whispered, "Wow." He climbed in just for a second. That's when everything changed. From the other side of the dealership, a man in a designer suit spotted the boy. His pace quickened, face tightening with disgust. This man was Preston Hale III, a billionaire tech investor, real estate magnate, and social media icon. At least to those who didn't know the real him. He marched up, fuming. "Preston, hey, what the hell do you think you're doing?" Malik froze. He jumped out of the seat, hands in the air, like a reflex, something too many black kids learn too young. "Malik, I am sorry, sir. I didn't mean to. I just wanted to see the car." Preston stormed toward him, towering over Malik, his voice a roar now. "Preston, don't touch my car, you little brat. Who the hell do you think you are? You think just because it's out here, it's some kind of toy for dirty kids like you?" Tasha rushed in, hearing the shouting. "Tasha, hey, excuse me. That's my son you're yelling at." Preston turned on her, still burning with rage. "Preston, then you better learn how to raise him. Keep your filthy kids off people's property." And then, in a flash of cruelty no one expected, he raised his hand, and he struck Malik. Hard, a slap across the face that echoed off the polished glass windows of the dealership. Gasps erupted around them. Tasha screamed, "Tasha, you put your hands on my son." Narrator voiceover. Everything stopped. Shoppers froze. The valet dropped his phone. Even the dealership manager came running out, wide-eyed. But Preston didn't flinch. He stood there like he owned the world, and no one could touch him, because in his mind he did. Within minutes, the sound of sirens cut through the chaos. Blue and red lights bathed the street in flashing urgency. A crowd had already formed. Phones were out. Voices were whispering. Some yelling. Tasha was holding Malik close, shaking with anger. Her son's cheek was red, a handprint forming. He was silent now, the innocence in his eyes replaced by confusion, pain, and fear. Officer Ramirez, a young Latino cop with a calm demeanor, stepped out first. "Officer Ramirez, ma'am, we got a report of an altercation. What happened here?" Before Tasha could speak, Preston stepped forward, waving his hand like he owned the street. "Preston, I'll make this simple. That boy broke into my car. He was inside it without permission. I told him to get out. He got mouthy, and I handled it." Officer Ramirez looked from Preston to Malik, then back. "Officer Ramirez, handled it, as in you hit him?" Preston smirked. "Preston, Call it what you want. The kid needs discipline. His mother clearly isn't doing it. Tasha stepped forward, voice trembling but loud. Tasha, you assaulted my son. In public. For sitting in a car with the door open. You think your money lets you hit a child. Preston turned to the officer. Preston, she's exaggerating. I've got multiple business meetings today. I don't have time for this nonsense. You can check the dealership security cameras. I own half the block. This is all a misunderstanding. But then, a voice in the crowd cut in. Bystander. Nah, we saw what happened. That boy didn't break anything. He was sitting there for 10 seconds. This man slapped the child hard. You better check those security cameras. Officer, he hit that kid for no reason. Suddenly, Preston's confidence wavered, because it wasn't just his word against a poor mother anymore. It was dozens of witnesses. It was cell phone videos. It was the truth, and the truth had gone viral. By the time Malik and Tasha were taken to the precinct to file a formal report, video clips of the incident had already hit the internet. A TikTok from a teenage girl who was filming nearby hit 2 million views in 2 hours. The caption read, Billionaire slaps black kid for sitting in car. Full video. Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram lit up. Hashtags exploded. Hashtag justice for Malik. Hashtag protect black children. Hashtag Preston Hale is a bully. Celebrities weighed in. Influencers call for boycotts of Preston Hale's companies. Civil rights organizations issued statements within hours. Preston's PR team went into full damage control mode. But nothing could stop the wildfire, because the image was too raw, too real, too familiar to black families across America. A rich white man using power and privilege to humiliate a black child, and thinking he could get away with it. This wasn't just about Malik anymore. This was about every kid who'd ever been told, you don't belong here. CNN ran the story within hours. Local news gave it nonstop coverage. Outside the dealership, protesters gathered by the next morning. Signs reading, Black kids are not threats. Justice for Malik. Boycott Hale Enterprises. Tasha appeared on a live interview, holding Malik's hand. Reporter, Tasha, what do you want to come from this? Tasha, holding back tears. I want people to know my son is not a threat. He's 10. He was excited to see a nice car. He's never even sat in one before. And now he's scared of rich people. Scared of white men in suits. Scared of being a little black boy in public. That shouldn't happen. Not in this country. Malik, softly. I just wanted to sit in the car. Narrator, voiceover. The nation listened. And for once, it didn't look away. But Preston Hale? He wasn't done yet. Preston doubled down. His legal team released a statement. Mr. Hale acted in defense of personal property and fears of potential theft. He filed a defamation lawsuit against Tasha, accusing her of slandering his name. And in a shocking twist, he accused Malik, a 10-year-old child, of attempting to steal his vehicle. It was outrageous, cruel, a clear attempt to bully the family into silence. But Tasha didn't back down. She found a lawyer, not just any lawyer, but Tyrone Marcus, a powerful black civil rights attorney who had taken down big names before. Tyrone stood on the courthouse steps. Tyrone Marcus, Mr. Hale, can try to sue whoever he wants. But what he did, what millions saw him do, was assault a minor. No amount of money changes that. This time, he messed with the wrong mother and the wrong child. The courthouse steps were packed. Journalists, activists, curious bystanders. Everyone had gathered to see the first hearing in the civil and criminal case now facing Preston Hale III, the billionaire who had slapped a child for daring to sit in his car. Inside, the tension was thick. Tasha sat in the front row with Malik. Beside her, he wore a little suit, secondhand, slightly big for his frame, but clean and proud. His hands trembled in his lap, but his mother's hand rested firmly over his. Across the aisle sat Preston Hale. No remorse on his face. His suit cost more than most people's cars. He whispered to his legal team with a smirk, as if this were just another minor inconvenience. But the court wasn't swayed by his confidence. Judge Harmon, an older black woman with a razor-sharp mind and zero tolerance for privilege, took her seat. Judge Harmon, Court is now in session. We will begin by reviewing the evidence of the alleged assault on minor Malik Thompson by the defendant, Mr. Preston Hale. The prosecution rolled out the video evidence. The courtroom went silent as the footage played. Malik climbing into the car. The slap, the outrage. The entire courtroom gasped again, even though many had seen it online already. There was something more painful, more real about seeing it in this cold, quiet space where truth was law. Preston's lawyer, a white man in his 50s, stood up confidently. Defense attorney. Your Honor, my client acted on instinct. He feared theft. He did not know the child's intent. This is not about race or class. This is about property rights. But Judge Harmon narrowed her eyes. Judge Harmon, you believe a 10-year-old boy sitting in an open car justifies physical assault. The attorney stumbled. Defense attorney. Well, with all due respect, Your Honor, it's about preventing damage. Judge Harmon cut in. Judge Harmon, there was no damage. Just a boy and your client's hand. Narrator voiceover. Gasps. Again. And Preston's face hardened. Tasha's lawyer, Tyrone Marcus, stood next. Tyrone, this isn't just about a slap. It's about what that slap represents. The arrogance, the racism, the idea that a black child must be put in his place for daring to exist in a space his skin color supposedly doesn't belong. He pointed to Malik, who sat nervously at the edge of his seat. Tyrone, this child didn't steal anything. He didn't break anything. He sat for 10 seconds. And for that, he was humiliated by a man the world respects for his money. Well, today, we ask this courtroom to respect something greater, the dignity of a child. The courtroom held its breath. Malik took the stand. He clutched the edges of the chair, legs dangling above the ground. The judge gave him a reassuring nod. Judge Harmon, take your time, young man. Tyrone approached gently. Tyrone, Malik, do you remember what happened that day? Malik, yes, sir. Tyrone, can you tell us why you sat in the car? Malik took a deep breath. Malik, I never saw a car like that up close before. It was so cool. I didn't touch anything. I just wanted to feel what it was like. I wasn't going to steal it. I just wanted to pretend for a minute that I could have nice things too. Tears welled in the eyes of people across the courtroom. A woman near the back whispered, Lord. Tyrone nodded. Tyrone, and then what happened? Malik's voice quivered. Malik, he started yelling. I got out fast. I said I was sorry. But then he hit me. Hard. And he looked at me like I was trash. Tyrone, did you feel like you did something wrong? Malik looked at the floor. Malik, yeah, I felt like I shouldn't have been born. Gasps. Sobs from the audience. Tasha wept silently. Even Judge Harmon had to pause and wipe her eyes before continuing. After 3 grueling days, the courtroom reached its climax. The jury came back. 12 people, black, white, Latino, Asian, all agreed. The foreman stood, paper in hand. Jury foreman. We, the jury, find the defendant, Preston Hale, guilty of assault on a minor and liable for emotional distress, racial discrimination, and reckless endangerment. Cheers erupted. The judge banged her gavel for order, but even she couldn't hide her approval. Preston stared in disbelief. For the first time, the billionaire looked powerless. Judge Harmon, you may have wealth, Mr. Hale, but in this courtroom, your money does not make you right. You will pay for what you did, financially, publicly, and with every inch of the reputation you thought made you untouchable. The court awarded Malik and Tasha $25 million in damages. But even more powerful than the money was the moment. The moment Malik looked out at the crowd, strangers, supporters, cameras, and realized he wasn't invisible. He mattered. The courtroom ruling sent shockwaves through every corner of the country. Within 24 hours of the verdict, Preston Hale's world began to crumble. His company's stock plummeted. Major partners pulled out. Corporate boards demanded his resignation. And media outlets that once praised his vision now replayed that viral footage on loop. Luxury car dealerships dropped his endorsement deals. His name was removed from university buildings and charity wings. The title Billionaire Genius was replaced with one word: abuser. He tried to fight back, issued a hollow apology video. Slick lighting, professional makeup, carefully chosen words. Preston Hale in video. I deeply regret the incident and the pain it caused. I hope to learn and grow. But the world didn't buy it, because it wasn't a mistake. It was a pattern, and he finally got caught. Meanwhile, Malik's face was everywhere, not just as a victim, but as a symbol of what it means to stand tall even after being knocked down. Schools invited him to speak. Non-profits asked him to be a youth ambassador. People donated to his future. One anonymous donor even offered to fund his college education in full. Tasha declined most offers. She wasn't in it for fame or money. But one thing she did say yes to: starting a foundation, the Malik Foundation for Equality and Dignity, dedicated to protecting children of color from discrimination, abuse, and violence, no matter where they are. Tasha, on interview: if you're a little black boy or girl watching this, let me tell you something. You deserve to sit anywhere you want, in a nice car, in a boardroom, in the White House. Don't let anyone tell you different. 1 year passed. On a warm spring day, Malik stood outside the same dealership. But now, there was a mural on the wall. It showed a young black boy, smiling, sitting proudly behind the wheel of a luxury car. Underneath it read, "This seat belongs to everyone." Malik, now 11, stood tall beside it. He placed a single flower at the foot of the painting and smiled. Malik, softly, "I'm not scared anymore." And across the street, behind a tinted window, Preston Hale sat inside a dusty black car, watching, fallen, forgotten, haunted by a moment he could never undo. This wasn't just about a billionaire or a slap. This was about power, privilege, and pain. But more importantly, it was about truth, courage, and justice. Because no matter how rich someone is, no matter how big their name, they are never too big to be held accountable. And no matter how small someone seems, no matter their color, they are never too small to be seen, heard, and protected. Malik's story is every story. And on this channel, we tell them, we uncover the injustice, we name the names, and we never look away. So if you believe in truth, in dignity, in fighting for what's right, like my video and subscribe my channel for more daily videos. This is No Justice Nation, where stories like this matter.